I was much closer to Seema. Then dynamics changed, and now I would say that Bhavna and me today are very, very close because it's reality. It's not scripted. I used to tell him, Samir, please, baby, please don't say anything wrong. Don't offend anybody.
Let's do this.
When it comes to you, I get super nervous.
The Zoom house act.
And?
Hey guys, my name is Shravan Shah and today I'm going to be having a conversation with the very talented Neelam Kothari. Welcome to MissMalini. Neelam, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you? It's a pleasure being here.
Yes, I am great as well, and I want you to actually go back a little bit in time, okay? And I want you to remember the feeling that you had when Fabulous Lives of Bollywood Wives was releasing. And were you nervous? Were you excited? Were you anxious? What was Neelam feeling back then?
I was extremely nervous because I've done over 40 films, but I've never done this kind of format. Okay, and I think all of us actually, I mean, we knew it would do well, but I think we all were very nervous because it's the first time a show like this is coming out, and we've attempted something totally new.
Yeah.
So when the trailer launched, okay, the feedback and the response was incredible because people hadn't seen something like this, and a lot of people that we knew, our Instagram, our messages just exploded saying that we can't wait to watch this. So I was extremely nervous because, will people like it? Will people accept it? Are we making fools of ourselves? Because it's a new concept. And luckily, it was just fantastic. The response was phenomenal.
Of course, the trailer and the show, like I said, I've watched the show thrice because that's how much I love it. When I watch the show, while of course there's so much happening and there's fights and shosha and all of that, but at the crux of it, one thing that I think so is the plot of the entire show is how these four women are there always for each other, no matter what, in the thick and thin. Today, when you sit back and look at the journey that all four of you all individually and together, you all have had, what does that feel like? It feels like a era in itself, right?
It is. I mean, listen, we know each other and we all four of us have become close. It's thanks to Gauri Khan. And, over the years, which is very interesting, I was much closer to Seema in the whole group. I mean, Seema was, initially first my bestie. Then dynamics changed, and now I would say that Bhavna and me today are very, very close. So it's interesting to see the dynamics change, and yes, we've just been through so much together. I've seen them get married, have children, and likewise, they've been there for me, through ups and downs, and I mean, it's just been a beautiful journey with these four, and it's been mad as well.
Yeah, that is so true. Another, my favorite part of the show are the husbands. I think Samir Soni is a wife in himself. Do you agree to that as well?
So Samir is somebody who has no filter. Okay, I want to be really honest with you. Before the shoot. I used to be frightened because it's reality. It's not scripted. Yes, they gave us a gist of what's happening, but at the end of the day, it's free flowing. You say what you want and it's entirely up to you.
Yeah.
Now, for example, that dinner, he was lying on the couch. He was like, I don't want to go. I do not want to come. And then he left that dinner. Okay. Now that is all real stuff. So he has no filter whatsoever. So before the shoot, I used to tell him, Samir, please, baby, please don't say anything wrong. Don't offend anybody. Just be a good boy. He was like, what are you worried about? I'm not stupid here. But yeah, with Samir, he has a very he's got very strong views on things, and he's very opinionated where certain topics are concerned, and he doesn't care. This is his opinion, and which I think is great.
My favorite moment from the show was all four of y'all sitting on a couch and watching, Mahir's video, and just I think that is where you see the actual bond that the four ladies share. Okay.
Correct. I totally agree with you.
Which is your favorite part from the entire show, if I have to ask you that?
My favorite part was, I think, like you just said, the part where we're watching, we're going back in time, and how, watching my heaps videos, watching my old songs, okay, and just having a laugh. And because that day, we were chilled, we were lounging, and I just felt that there was so much of warmth and so much of love. And that's one of my favorite scenes. I mean, you rightfully pointed it out. And another scene which I loved was the finale, the party scene, where Shah Rukh's talking about each one of us. Again, it just took me back, so many years. And so many people ask me, like, why did you cry? So I just felt, because the nostalgia, we've shared so much together. And, Shah Rukh being, how wonderful he is, he just said so many lovely things, and it just took me back in time that, sometimes you get on with life and you forget. Yeah. So I just got emotional, and I broke down. So these are my two favorite moments.
Yeah, because I was actually going to say that sometimes in life this happens, right? That you just become friends with somebody, and then you just forget how it started. But one day when you just sit back and think about all that, it gets you emotional. So when you got emotional on the show, I think I understood where you were coming from, because I could see that at the end of the day, when you see all the families sitting down together and having this conversation, it just makes you feel nostalgic, right?
100%. And like I just said, you tend to forget.
Exactly.
How much you've shared with this group of friends. Of course, you have other friends that you've shared a lot with, but you tend to sort of you forget. Yeah. And I just felt it was that party was just a beautiful moment of everyone coming together and actually talking about past experiences. Like there was Shania, Ananya, and they were giving their own two bits of, when they went on holiday. I thought it was so sweet.
That's so true. That is so true. But today when you sit back and look at, because now, you've done acting, you are a jewelry designer, and you are back in the reality show, okay? Adding and making people realize that, hey, this was Neelam that you saw back then, this is the new Neelam, okay? How does that feel? Are you happy today when you look at the way your journey has panned out?
I couldn't be happier. Honestly, touch wood, God has been very kind. I mean, Bollywood Wives is something, and thanks to Karan Johar. I mean, he's just, brilliant. I remember when I had left films, I had left films when I did Kuch Kuch Hota Hai. Yeah. So he came to me and he said, Neelam, there's this one role where, you're playing yourself. Will you do it? So I'm like, okay, might as well. It'll be a lot of fun. And again, I very settled in my life, married, kids, work is going fine. And all of a sudden, he drops this bomb. I'm doing Bollywood Wives with the four of you. So, I couldn't be happier because, thankfully, it's done really, really well. And, it's a great production. It's Karan, it's Netflix, so, I couldn't have asked for a better comeback. Seriously.
That is so true. But on that note, thank you so much for talking to me. I am looking forward to season 2 for sure. Till then, please take care of yourself. And I am so glad that you're back.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye. So that was all for today, folks. Do like, share and subscribe to MissMalini. And do tune in next Tuesday for yet another episode of Bollywood Zoomies.